Hi folks, Bill McManus back with The Making of a Millionaire. As you know, if you've followed my videos, I'm in London. I'm here for the Forex trading and some other success training with Greg. Today I had my very first Forex training class, and I'll tell you, it was great. I met some very successful traders and I learned a lot, and I'm going to get into some of that later. But first of all, I want to go over something that I learned yesterday on my one-on-one session with Greg. Among other things that we did, one of the things he took me through was this confidence exercise. Confidence is important when you trade, and just being overall success, you have to have that confidence in yourself. And he said sometimes you just won't feel that confident, and he wants to be able to, he says he has a way of putting me into a place of confidence immediately. And he took me through an exercise. So I'm going to take you through that exercise because I think you can benefit. And I've already seen the benefit from this, so it really does work. So I'm going to take you through it. First of all, I'm going to play some music. This is the music that Greg put on for this exercise. You can hear it in the background. And it's Hans Zimmer's Now We Are Free from The Gladiator. And I thought this was great music. And so what he did, he turned on this music really loud. We were in his study. And he told me to stand up. He says, stand up. As I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to look down at your feet, and I want you to visualize that you're standing over a timeline of your life with the past going behind you and the future going on in front of you. He says, I want you to hover over that line because I want you to take yourself back in time to a place when you felt confidence. He said, just go back and in your mind find a time when you felt confident. I said, okay, and I went back in mind, and the first thing that came to mind was when I was a teen, I was in track, and I used to do long and triple jump for track. And there was this one time when my school was in a triple meet, where there was 3 different schools competing at one track meet. And what we did was, we had gotten to a point where the meet was almost over, and it was a 3-way tie, literally a 3-way tie. And there was only one event left, and naturally it was the event that I was competing in at the time, which was the triple jump. So everybody ran down because they knew it was the last event, and this was our only shot at winning this meet. And I was competing for Vestal. I played for Vestal, New York. And people just lined either side of the runway. And those people were just chanting my name. Bill, come on, Bill, you can do it. Come on, do it for Vestal. And I'll tell you, their chants and their cheers instilled this confidence in me where I knew even before I ran down that runway that I was going to win that event. And sure enough, their cheers, and I ran down that, and I launched myself off that board, and I did win the event, and we did win the meet, and for the day I was the hero. But I'll tell you, it was the confidence that I felt. So that was the vision that I put myself in for this exercise. So then Greg says, okay, put yourself in your shoes. You're standing right in that time. And I said, okay. He says, now, he goes, I want you to put your hand out in front of you. He goes, well, where's your energy coming from? I said, I feel it in my chest. I can feel it in my chest. He's like, okay, I want you to put your hand out in front of you and picture a ball in your hand and tell me what color that ball is. I said, okay, and I vision a blue ball. He says, well, is it what kind of blue? I said, it's like a bluish green. He says, like an earth green. I said, yeah. He says, okay, and is it smooth or is it rough? I said, it's smooth. He says, okay, and what size is it? And it was like the size of a billiard ball. He's like, okay. He goes, now I want you to think of a word, and what we're going to use this word to anchor this feeling that you currently have. He says, think of a word that's powerful. So the first thing that the word I could think of was launch, because at that moment when I had all that confidence, I launched myself off that board to win that event, and I pictured myself now, I'm launching my life into a whole new perspective, the launching of this project. So to me, launch was the perfect word to use during this exercise. He says, okay, he says, when I count 3, he goes, I want you to take that ball, and I want you to drive it into your chest, and I want you to yell that power word. I want you to yell launch as loud as you can. I'm like, okay. So he counted to 3, and I took that ball, and I drove it to my chest, and I said, launch, and I yelled it. And he said, on a scale of 1 to 10, he goes, that was a 2. He goes, I want you to really yell it. So I did it again, and I yelled launch as loud as I could. And he says, again and again and again, and I did it. And I tell you, I was screaming at the top of my lungs to the point where I was losing my voice. And he said, but I'll tell you, when I got done, I was totally energized. I could feel that through my entire body, literally a tingling from the tip of my head down through my toes and fingers. And I felt so energized when I had done that. And so then he says, well, what you're going to do is, he goes, I want to take you through, and I have a ritual that I want you to do every morning. He said, and part of that ritual, there's a couple other things, is, he goes, I want you to go through that exercise, I want you to drive your hand into your chest and yell that word. He says if you're a place where you can't yell, he goes, scream it in your head. He goes, I want you to do that 25 times. He goes, and it's going to bring you back to this same feeling of confidence. It's a way of instantly bringing that up. He says, you can do it just one time and you'll feel it. But he says, you need to get this and start driving it into your physiology. He goes, so I want you to do it 25 times every single morning for the next 21 days. I said, okay. And I'll tell you, I got up this morning and I was still tired because I was jet lagged and I haven't had a lot of sleep over the last few nights. And I got up and I said, okay, I'm going to do my exercises. So I put this music on, Hans Zimmer's song, and I sat and I did that 25 times. Well, I'm in a hotel room, so I couldn't scream, but I did that. In my head, I was screaming. I did it 25 times. And I'll tell you, when I was done, I was feeling that exact same feeling, that tingling head to toe. I was totally energized and ready to take on the world. So I went from being tired to being totally energized. So this is something that does work. I felt like I could take on the world. It does instill confidence. So he says, anytime you're in a place where you need that confidence and you need that strong strength and you need that drive, he goes, go through that exercise, use that power, hit yourself and you launch until you can feel that. And I'll tell you, just when I just did that now, I felt it tingling. So folks, I want you to go through this exercise yourself, just like this. Pick some powerful music. I recommend this Hans Zimmer's Now We Are Free. It just fit that situation. Or something that's really, really powerful. He goes, then I want you to just pick a word, do the same visual exercise, and take it, and you'll be able to bring yourself and pull confidence right out of the air just when you need it. So think back at some time when you had a tremendous amount of confidence, where you can literally see it and put yourself there and feel it. Think of a really powerful word that you can use as a trigger. And wherever your strength is. You know, mine was in my chest. Greg's is like in his arm, and he hits himself when he says his power word. And his power word is go. And he put himself back to a time in college when he had won a big award. And that's how he gets his confidence. So that's it. Confidence exercise. It works, folks. I encourage you to do it. Again, you're following along in this project with me, and I want you to learn with me, and I want you to succeed with me. So that's it for tonight. I'm going to come back tomorrow with another video. We cover some of the other things I did with Greg and a little bit about some of the things we learned in the Forex trading. And I'll be back. So once again, I'm Bill McManus with Making of a Millionaire. And here's to your success. Bye now.